Hey everyone, how's it going? Decided to do a video on a couple things. I got home to some stuff in the mail when I got home. Got home to some stuff in the mail when I got home. That's too many when I got homes. Anyway, some stuff. First of all, those of you that follow me on Instagram, and there's very few of you, you will have seen I posted pictures of these. I simply posted those with a picture of the side cutters I used on them and said, I fixed my brakes today. Which I sort of did. I got rid of the squealing. There's still like about a third of the pad left. They were just making squealing. I have pads coming from Rock Auto, so I cut these off. Yeah, it was just annoying the hell out of me. Don't recommend doing it somebody else's car because then they're not going to notice that the pads are gone until they're grinding in metal to metal. Whereas I have pads on the way, and as soon as they get there, I'll change them. So there you go. Picked up this the other day at Home Depot, Barkeeper's Friend. If you have wooden countertops, or it works really good on chrome, aluminum and stuff. It's an abrasive. Think of like, well, see, it works stainless steel, porcelain, ceramic, copper, brass, fiberglass, Corian, chrome, aluminum. Yeah, it's a cleaner. Think of like Comet abrasive cleaner. Except it's better. It's really good stuff. It contains oxalic acid, so it helps get rid of corrosion and stuff on these metals. Works really good, and it doesn't damage them. It doesn't leave a bunch of scratches. I mean, if you're going to use it on something super fine, like don't use it on a show car, chrome bumper or something. But, you know, for your daily and stuff, and wooden countertops, that's why they call it Barkeeper's Friend, because it's really good on heavily clear-coated countertops, laminated countertops. It cleans everything. It's really good stuff, and it's really cheap. It was like $3 at Home Depot, probably about $1.50 for you Americans. Also in the mail, I got these hose pinchers. I have a set of these somewhere. I don't know what I did with them. Just a sec. They're just super handy, and I needed them for taking the radiator out of my Santa Fe. Because they're the transmission lines, I just wanted to pinch them off. But what I ended up doing was pulling them off really fast and then sticking a spark plug in the end of the hose, the porcelain part of the plug to stop them from all leaking out. And I only spilt just a very little bit, but these would have been handy. But unfortunately, they arrived a day late. A day late and $1 short, as the saying goes. Okay, let's get that out of there. There we go. These are Lyle part number 22850. And like I say, I have a set of these somewhere. I don't know. There's a little diagram on the back. See? So what they are is, see this little bar? You pretend my finger's the hose. Put that in there. And then you tighten up the wing nut. And it pinches them off. See? I'll show you. There you go. And because both sides are rounded, it doesn't harm the hose. They're really good. Just super handy. And I mean, they're cheap little things. I think I paid $10 for the both of them. But again, you Americans, it's probably like $5. You guys get all the deals. Also, when I was removing the radiator, look at it, bled through again. This is my third Band-Aid. Tore all the skin off that top knuckle on my finger. It's pulling the lower radiator hose off, and it came up and drug this part. Oh, excuse me. Drug this part of my knuckle against the radiator fins and tore all the skin off it. Sharp aluminum radiator fins. It's crazy. I bled like a maniac. More so than when I cut myself with a knife. So the other thing I got in the mail was a decal. How awesome is that? TreasureCoastMiata.com. They're the go-to place for Miata parts. What I got from them was the stuff I need to fix the Miata. First of all, there should be 4 of these. These are little crank pulley bolts. They hold the crank pulley to the crank gear. This is the key for the keyway on the crank. And that is the crank bolt. They're a torque to yield bolt. They stretch, so you don't want to reuse them generally. And they have to be a pretty precise torque. If you get it wrong and it's too loose, they will loosen up, and then you'll have the problem that I'm having now. Why I have to fix this. The keyway wears out. The pulley, the gear, whatever it's called, gear cog, whatever, starts to get loose. It's not supposed to be held in place by the key. It's supposed to be held in place by the bolt. And so if the bolt is loose and the only thing holding it from turning, spinning on the crankshaft is the keyway, then it'll just wobble and wears out and causes damage, and then you end up having to do what I'm going to have to do. So that's garbage. And here is the pulley. So this goes on the end of the crank, and you can see the keyway there. And what happens is this keyway will wear out on one side, and the same with the shaft that sticks out in the crank. It only applies to the Miatas, the first generation with the short nose crank, meaning the crank only sticks out yay far. The newer ones solve the problem by having it stick out further, and so the keyway is longer, and it's less of an issue. So yeah, that's that. But this is a nice new pulley they sent me, and so I got it. What I have to do is take the old stuff off, clean it up really good, set the keyway against the one good side in the keyway, and fill the other stuff with the other part. Where do we go here? The void of the keyway that's now worn out with this retaining compound. It's a Loctite 660, and it's called Quick Metal. What it does is it fills large gaps and it bonds things. It's really good stuff, awesome stuff. And then just the regular Loctite 243 for the crank bolt itself. So that's what I'll be doing this weekend. There is a special tool I have to get that screws onto 3 of these holes, so you can hold the crank while you're doing it and tighten the crank bolt. That way this isn't moving and screwing up your keyway that you just got the timing set with. It's not difficult, it's just rather involved. You got to take apart, everything off the front of the engine. So I have a timing belt already. I'm going to replace the timing belt while I'm in there, the crank seal, and the 2 cam seals on the top. So that's what I'll be doing. May or may not do a video. I don't know. It's kind of difficult to see, so it's not really video friendly, I want to say. Another thing was, I'm sure you guys have seen these. Some of you might have one. This Bissell little green clean machine. I'm selling a car, my mother's old car. I got her that Ford Focus and getting rid of her old Saturn. And so it's filthy. Basically, my mother, I don't think she's ever cleaned the interior of the car. And the seats are just absolutely disgusting. The carpets are disgusting. And so I thought, well, I can send it to a detailer or something. The cheapest one I found around was $200 just to shampoo everything. I'm like, screw that. So I thought, I'm looking online and looking for an extractor of some sort. And I thought, one of these, my sister had one of these. Phoned her up, hers is broken. So I'm looking online on Facebook Marketplace to pick up a used one. I saw a couple and I was telling my wife about it. She says, well, why? We have one. All these years, I had no idea. We don't use it because we have hardwood floors in the house all throughout, no carpet anywhere. So in the old house we did. We had white carpet in the living room. Don't ever get white carpet, especially if you have pets. This thing works really, really good. You fill this side with your cleaning solution, whatever strength you need, and the rest with hot water. And then you use the nozzle here with scrub brush, and basically you pull the trigger and it sprays the cleaning solution, the hot cleaning solution, and you agitate it with the brush and this sucks it up. And it works really good. Like I just spent, 5 minutes doing the driver's seat in the car, and it came out really, really well. It's dark out now and the car's outside, so I can only see what the interior light was showing me. But I'll just show you guys what the solution looks like. That's what came out. That's extremely dirty. This is like black like Coke. It's darker than it looks because this tank is green. As you can see, it's tinted green. So, this is horrible stuff. I wish I had a clear cup to show you guys exactly what it looked like. But, you can see that that's filthy. It's like Coca-Cola or black motor oil. And that was just, like I said, a few moments, maybe 5 minutes of cleaning. And leaves it smelling really nice too. So I'll see you tomorrow. I'll do the rest of the car. I may do the floors too. They're not bad, but I'll probably just do the mats. I'll just pressure wash the mats and use my shop vac to suck off the water. Yeah, really good. Highly recommend it for spot cleaning in the house. But for me, its real usage is the automotive upholstery. It does good on the door panels, the cloth insert door panels. I did the driver's side. Really impressed for such an old grungy car. Okay, that's about it. Before I let you go, I'll show you this. This is the, hold on here, let's spin you around here first. Down here, here's the radiator out of the Santa Fe. It's broken along here somewhere, it's leaking all along. I couldn't find where the leak was, but it's actually leaking there and was running down here inside the bottom row and coming out over here. So I thought it was something over there. I knew it wasn't a hose. But I finally was able to, once I pulled the fans off and could see everything, I could see where it was coming from the radiator. I thought it was something else. Thankfully it's not, because a new radiator is only like $130 shipped from Rock Auto. As opposed to what I thought it was. I thought it was the water pump, because the way the water was running here to the front of the engine and down the frame and dripping right below the water pump. I thought, oh my God, this is going to be crazy. Hours and hours of work. And that's if you have a lift, which I don't. So it just would have been a nightmare, and I was probably going to just have the car towed away for scrap. But because it's just the radiator, I've got one on the way and I'll change it. So because of that, it's been sitting for a while, and when I went to move it, the battery was dead. So I've got this Honda Optimate 3, but I did a video on this thing. And it works really good. I've used this multiple times. It's like you're not going to get a quick charge off it or use it to boost anything, but for charging, it's really good. But I did notice on this, let me shut the charger off. This battery is bulging. The front is fine, it's perfectly flat, but the side, let me see if I can get you in here a little closer. So, that's a bit of a bulge on the side, and the other side's the same. I'd say the bulge sticks out about, I don't know, 1/8 of an inch, 1/4 inch maybe. And of course the battery, it's in CAA, which is Canadian version of AMA. It's the same price as if I was to go to the store and buy a battery and change it myself. This is like a minus 40 degree Celsius day when my battery died. So I just called the AMA. The guy came out, changed it for me, hauled the old battery away, gave me my core. I didn't have to take anything back to the store or anything. Same price it would have cost me just to buy a battery. And they guarantee it for 3 years. Now, if you look, the date on this is the 3rd month of 2017, and it's a 3-year guarantee. So I'm just past, what is it, September? So I'm 6 months past the warranty. What are you going to do? I got my money's worth, I suppose. I remember when batteries used to last a lot longer. I had, it would have been about 1987-ish. When I bought a 1974 Duster that had the original battery in it. The original battery that it came from the factory with. And it was in there up until I sold it years later. Never had an issue. To be fair, I never drove the car in winter, and it was always parked inside in winter. But that's still pretty damn impressive to me, considering brand new battery. And this car was always parked in the garage in winter, never left outside when it was cold. So 3 years. It's kind of shitty. You'd think with battery technology being the way it is today, you'd be able to make a better battery. Or perhaps it's just another case of planned failure, planned obsolescence. Because I'm sure they can make a battery that's going to last longer than 3 years and have enough cranking amps. Like this, what is it? Say on the battery, I don't even know how many cold cranking amps it is. But I don't know. It's their best battery. The premium delivered and installed. So, 3-year free replacement, all weather. And it was fine. It was great until it wasn't. So, there you go. 3 years. But really, like I say, with battery technology, they should be getting out like 1,000 cold cranking amps, and they should last 25 years, 30 years without failure. So, I don't know. One of the things about with lithium car batteries, and I'm not talking about that power like a Prius or something. I just mean a starting battery. I don't know. Maybe the technology and the charging, the constant charging is a problem. That's probably it. I don't know. I don't know anything about batteries. I just know I'm a little disappointed 3 years, but whatever. It's not too bad. In the grand scheme of things, I can live with it. What's the saying? First world problems. There you go. So anyway, that's it. So I've got a pretty full weekend here. The radiator won't be coming won't be arriving till sometime in the middle of the week. But I will be doing the, luckily enough, I also ordered the tool for that holds the crank pulley, and it's delayed. I got a notice in the mail the other day, in the email, that it's delayed. But luckily enough, I put a message on the local Mazda Facebook group, Alberta Mazda Miata, and asking if anybody had one I could borrow. And luckily enough for me, I found a Mazda technician that works at a local Mazda dealership here. He said, I've got it, I can loan it to you. Just give me a call when you need it. So I'll be giving him a call tomorrow and picking it up. And eventually when I have one, I'll probably lend it to someone else, repay the favor. Yeah, that's it. Just thought I'd keep you guys up to date what's going on. Haven't really had a chance to do much to the bike, but if you look, let's bring it over here. If you look over there, way over yonder there, wait, let me go, where are we? Right there at my end of my finger. See that paint cap? That's Suzuki yellow. So I'll be taking the side covers off, the fenders, sanding them down, and painting them back to Suzuki yellow and putting the Suzuki decals on it. And actually the seat cover, this seat is pretty much just tape and foam. So my wife is going to sew me a cover to put over it. So get the bike looking decent that way. If I keep it, I might keep it. At least it'll look decent. And if I don't keep it, it'll be a lot easier to sell than looking like this blue bomber here. So anyway, that's it. That's all I've got to say. Nothing new. Cleaned up the garage a little bit. There's the front bumper, if you can see it over there, right there. Had to take that off the Santa Fe to get the radiator out. I didn't have to. It just made it a whole lot easier. It's really only like 6 bolts, a bunch of clips, and 2 screws to take that cover off, and it just slides right off. It's no problem at all. And it just made everything so much easier. The old saying, work smarter, not harder. Yeah. So I got that off. Again, like I said, I tidied up the garage. It was getting I had tools everywhere. Welding table there. You can see it's nice and shiny. I re-grounded. It was getting kind of rusty, so every now and then I hit it with a flap disc and clean it off, and then give it a good coating of WD-40 to prevent it from rusting. And it lasts me another year or 2 until I got to clean it off again. Or unless I leave something sitting on there. I had an old battery on there that corrosion got on it and made a big mess. Anyway, that's it. I'm rambling on, and this video is getting long. What are we at? Holy cow, we're at 17 minutes. If you made it this far, thanks for sticking with me. If you didn't, hell with you. Yeah, you're not here anyway, so whatever. Yeah, that's it. I'll do an update tomorrow. Maybe I'll show how the carpets and seats turned out when I'm all finished with that. And possibly do a video on the crank thing, the crank repair. So yeah, so that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you guys have a great weekend. It's a long weekend here in Canada. Labor Day. Is Labor Day in the States too? I don't know. Beats me. I don't know. I can't keep up with everybody's holidays. And then you guys in England, that you guys watching me from the UK, you guys have all these bank holidays, so I don't know what's going on with that. So anyway, have a good weekend, long weekend or regular weekend, whatever it is for you. Hope you had a great week. Have a good weekend, and I'll be seeing you soon. Take care. See ya.